What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today we have MLB is back. The season has started, and we're going to get all into our predictions and everything we're excited for with this new season. Let's get it. What's going on, spectators? Welcome out of the lockout. The MLB season is officially underway. We had an amazing opening weekend, and we are excited to talk about what's going on with the season, what our predictions are, and I got two beautiful men joining me. Nico, Brooklyn, what's going on, boys?
Yo, how you doing, Drew?
Doing amazing.
What's
Nico,
up?
how are
What's
you,
up?
brother?
Man, living the dream. Baseball's back. Nothing can get any better than this.
No,
It's
and
been it's been fun.
it's been very fun. Opening weekend has had a lot of different things kind of happen to it, but one of the big takeaways, and we're not going to take too much away from 3 games. It kind of is what it is. The Guardians look terrible, and then they score 17. Like it's 3 games. Like they don't matter that
Yeah.
much. But there are little things, there's trends that start to develop, and you can start to see where people are. The only undefeated team left, your Tampa Bay Rays. Congrats on that.
Hey,
It
shout
is
out.
the easiest schedule maybe ever written, with Baltimore and then Oakland coming up. Oakland might be the worst team of all time too. Just gonna throw that out there.
Hey, man, they're all professionals. So, we're all
That's the
professionals.
cop out answer, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love the cop.
We're-
I love the cop out answer.
They're all professionals, so 3-0 is 3-0. It's a tough thing to do in the league, you know what I'm saying? And hey, look, it's not the craziest thing. As crazy as we are 3-0, the Dodgers are 1-2, right? So
Yeah.
teams that are mostly expected to, come out and be as strong as they are, they can get humbled real soon. Baseball is, a weird game where you got these great starters and great guys, that can give you good 5-6 innings, and then your bullpen just come and blow it all over for you. So it's very a toss up of a game in a sense. It's very weird. So,
that's why you can't start writing checks off like the first month of baseball
yeah,
because
not at all.
you do that, you're not gonna be able to cash it because whatever you see now, it's just a facade.
Just
Most
as
of the
It's a
time, it's
long
not gonna stay.
season. They play grueling long, back to back to back. They get a
Yeah,
day every other week, you know what I'm saying, or 2 off. It's a long, grueling season, and so for you to maintain, it's just who can maintain the longest until October
yeah. My
throughout the season.
favorite part of it all. I've been able to have like 7 games on at one time, just
Oh,
being blasted by baseball. And it's amazing because you can't
yeah.
really do that with any other sport. Like, yeah, you got red zone, you throw it on the TV, you got it all playing, but like what the setups we just got games fucking everywhere.
Listen,
And
listen. Let me tell you something. I said this. I'm pretty sure you can check the stats, check up the history. I said it in a podcast before,
It's in the
but
cage.
I
okay,
said baseball is the best sport because at any time during the day, on
yeah,
the East Coast for us especially, we wake up at around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and by noon, 1 o'clock, you got a game coming on all day up until 10:30 Eastern time.
Yeah.
And then if you're
yeah,
living on,
Every day.
Central
Every
time,
day.
Central time has it the best. They
Yeah,
wake up
they do.
at 11, 12 o'clock, they got a game. Noon, they got a game all the way up until like 9:30, and they have it the best. West Coast,
yeah.
whatever. A little early, you know what I'm saying, for baseball for them though, but they have baseball all day, so it's so great. Baseball's phenomenal. I love
Yeah,
it.
me and Drew do like our little daily check-in call in the morning, just talking about all this stuff we got going on. And it was like 1 o'clock, and I'm like, man, there's baseball on right
There's
now, huh? I
baseball.
gotta get used to
It
this.
was
Like
like
you
it
just
was like
wake
the
up, you roll out of bed, and that's it. You got games.
it wasn't just baseball.
Listen,
It was like the third inning of a game. Like we were
Yeah,
like deep already.
well, we're speaking right now. We got baseball on right now. Like
Yeah.
it's literally amazing. The Guardians up 1-0 on the Royals right now.
I'm gonna actually throw
It's
that game on while we're recording.
yeah, might as well.
No, and baseball again, like it's one of those things we're able to have multiple games up at once. You don't have to be fully
Mhm.
dialed into every pitch. Obviously, if it's
No.
your team, you kind of want to be, but you don't have to. Like you can very casually watch 3 games at once, and that's okay. And
Yeah.
it's part of the fun of it all because it's like the one sport that I feel like you're able to kind of see several different guys go at once, even though it's harder because there's like the most amount of guys in the league, like outside
Yeah.
of football, but like you see both sides. Um,
Yeah.
like the NBA, you can watch the highlights and kind of get a feel. But like a baseball game, you can actually watch it in practice because like stats don't tell the story in baseball at all. They just don't.
That's fair.
They
Yeah.
do sometimes, but
Yeah.
like we mentioned it before we got on. Josh Donaldson yesterday had a rough game. He had 3 backwards Ks, but like he didn't have bad at bats by any means. Like they weren't bad backwards Ks at all, and I wasn't even like upset about them being. It's kind of happened that way. You look at the sheet, and you're like, oh, he played awful. And it's like, not really,
Yeah.
but
Stats say he played awful, but he put the pitcher through a 12 pitch, 13 pitch at bat before
that he
he
just
had a
loses.
backwards K.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
and
the
in
thing.
baseball terms, that's a great at bat. You know what I'm saying? You got
Exactly.
that guy 13. A pitcher wants to be 12 to 13 pitches an inning. 15 pitches max. So you put him through that. That's getting his count out.
And that's the thing with basketball. You go 2 for 13. Well, he was buns.
Yeah,
He couldn't
he
play.
was not good. He could not shoot.
Yeah,
Baseball, if you go 1 for 4 or 1 for 5, like, all right, you might have hit the ball extremely hard and might just went to somebody, and you can't do nothing about that. It doesn't show up.
Exactly.
But like, damn, you smoked that ball.
Yeah,
I was just
absolutely.
inches away. So,
Absolutely.
the luck of draw.
Really is the luck of the draw. So we did start the season already, and I actually think it's better to do this once the season started. You get a small taste. You get to see where teams are kind of at in terms of like approaching games and like quick compositions of teams because there's always new players and how they click and all that. So you get to see how they look in a uniform and all that before we can just straight up predict. So what we're gonna do today is obviously we're gonna talk baseball, but we're gonna talk about our predictions for the season. Who we think is gonna make it out of. We're gonna go like ALCS, NLCS, World Series, and then we're gonna go awards. And then outside of awards, I want to do who's gonna be our breakout star. You got me?
Gotcha.
So let's just go ahead and start with making it to the ALCS. I like this a little bit better than just World Series straight away too, because you get 2 teams. There's a little bit of the economy here. Matchups kind of play a role, all that. So I'm gonna go with Nico.
I'll take the ball on this one.
You're gonna start this off.
I think it's pretty obvious to say. In my opinion, I believe the Rays will be in the American League Championship this year. I can honestly see them playing a plethora. Like it's just, the outcomes this season could be just outrageous. In general, really anybody in the AL East can be in the championship minus the Orioles.
The Orioles, yeah.
Yeah, minus the Orioles. Anybody in the AL East can go. Did you guys see like the Major League Baseball's predictions? They had them like 89 and
they had all of
whatever.
Us
They had a 4-way tie for the American
that's-
League East, and it was just the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's the worst. It is the worst take I've seen in a while, and I've had some pretty bad takes. Anyways, I really do like the Rays going in. And then I can honestly see us playing another Astros, White Sox maybe. I really do like the White Sox a lot. They're a really good team. And they're the Central, so there's a big chance I could see. I'm gonna go with Rays and White Sox, but unfortunately, the Rays are gonna take it in 7 games. It's gonna be a hard fought game, and Rays to the World Series, in my opinion.
Okay, Brick,
From that AL side,
the early season championship.
I went back and forth a lot looking at this because I didn't want to say the Yankees because going into this season, I did not think the Yankees were going to get to this point. I'm looking at the Twins. I don't like their pitching. They got a nice little squad. They add Correa. They add Gary Sanchez, a couple other pieces. The bats look good.
they don't have depth.
The pitching doesn't do it for me. The Astros losing Correa is tough, so I don't put them at that upper echelon right now. They could get there. They still got a good team. Their pitching's okay, but you move over to the AL East where I think the ALCS team is going to come out of. And I look at the Blue Jays, their bats scare me. They're one of the most dangerous slugging teams in the American League. Their pitching and their bullpen is tough. Their starting pitching, it's okay, but their bullpen scares me. Red Sox, I'm not too worried about them. They got nice bats, and same thing. But I do think that it's going to come down to the Rays and the Yankees and the ALCS. I do strongly feel that because the Rays are stacked. They do got a good pitching staff as well. But I do think that the Yankees are going to be on top when it comes down to it.
Okay. Okay, so we got a Rays Yankees and a Rays White Sox is what I've gathered to this point.
Yep.
I'm going a little different. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the team that's been doing it for the last half decade. I think they lose Correa and they don't get that much worse, which is the weirdest thing in the world to say.
Yeah.
But I just think the emergence of Kyle Tucker and the emergence of Jordan Alvarez are just too strong to kind of leave out. They're getting maybe the best pitcher of the decade back. It's like him and Kershaw and Scherzer are like the three best pitchers of the decade. So they're getting Justin Verlander back, and I don't think that can be understated enough.
No.
I like the Astros to at least get to the championship series, and then I'm not gonna sip the Kool-Aid yet on the Blue Jays. I don't know what it is. I'm not sipping the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. I'm not sipping the Kool-Aid. I think we're really overhyping their starting pitcher. We've seen Yusuke Kikuchi not be super successful. He can't throw
Yeah.
strikes all the time. They lose the Cy Young Award winner. Ryu has had a kind of a weird year and a half. Like, I don't fully trust those starters, and their bullpen is not fantastic. They have some good guys. Romano is pretty good. So I don't really know how to feel about their pitching. I think it can get it done, but I don't trust them in a 7-game series.
Fully agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm
super
going to
fair.
go with the Astros and the White Sox. And the real thing that tips over the White Sox for me is, you guys know I'm not crazy big on the White Sox. I think getting rid of Kimbrel is a plus. Just getting rid of Craig Kimbrel is a plus. He is not a good reliever. Just throw it out there. He's not good. And then they get a fantastic bat with AJ Pollock in return that when he's
Yeah,
healthy
phenomenal.
is just a flat out elite hitter. And with the DH, and I know that they have Eloy too, but you have two just dominant righty hitters that aren't fully great in the outfield, but who cares? They're gonna mash, and if he's healthy and he's right, that is a full net positive that I think really pushes them over the top. Because the bats were the one kind of concern for the White Sox because their lineup is really top heavy and just falls
Yeah.
out from at the bottom half of it. So
Yeah.
if they adding one extra bat to that lineup does wonders, and I think that's gonna push them to the ALCS. I think the Astros wind up making the World Series again. Sadly.
Okay. I'm not mad at
Super
that.
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that. And me and Nico had a conversation the other day where we were talking about the AL Central, and I was saying I love the White Sox, Jew, and everybody listening. I've been big on the White Sox for
A
years
couple
now,
years now.
and
This is the
I
lowest you've been
do,
on them in a while.
yeah, it because I do feel like there's a little more competition now, especially in that division. Before I felt they were the best in the division because the Twins just haven't shown really anything. And this year, I do feel like the Twins get that division. White Sox are second, but
Really.
with the expanded playoffs, that's no knock.
Uh, I don't know.
I just
I
don't
mean, the
think the
White
Twins
Sox
are going to be
haven't
able to
really.
stop people from scoring ever. Their second
I
best
just,
pitchers. Uh,
yeah, exactly. That's the thing
it's
with the
Sonny
Twins is
Gray,
Sonny Gray.
they
and
don't
then
have the
Jordan
depth.
Belovich. I don't even know how to say his
Yeah.
name. That can't be.
They don't have the depth. That's the thing with the Twins, right? Like I said, baseball's that funky game, right? The Twins can
It is.
have that phenomenal start in a sense, right? But after your starting guy, after the horse, kind of can only take you so far until he needs a break, right? And someone has to kind of pick up the weight. Who's going to pick up the weight in that sense for the Twins, right? We've seen it like plenty of times happen before, right? Starting pitchers kind of go a long way in the game, and then teams kind of battle back and get closer and closer with the bullpen. Um, so in my opinion, I do agree really big with Julian. The White Sox are they were kind of that piece or two away from making that big jump to the World Series, right? We've seen them last year make it to the playoffs. And then again, be that kind of piece away. And adding AJ Pollock, I think, was a really big thing
It was.
that they could have used. They have now some veterans, and Jose Abreu who's been in the league now, and he's actually been playing kind of decent around these younger guys, and Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, right? These newer guys in the organization. And then now you have guys like Michael Kopech, who's giving you innings who can throw. Lucas Giolito. He's been
He needs a bounce back year
dominant the
bad.
last 2 years. Yeah, he's had a very, very good bounce back year from where he's been playing. And he's kind of still, staying a little hot. So, there's a lot of good things going on with the White Sox, and the Central honestly isn't a tough division by all means.
No,
So
it's just top heavy.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
So the division, their biggest challenge will be the Twins, but I think in a series, we'll be okay in that sense. What
My
about
you know what my big problem with the White Sox has been, not to harp on them too long. They've gone after bullpen pieces like constantly the last couple of years because these young guys that they want to be starters aren't fully starters, like Kopech, and there's a couple of guys there that they want, like Garrett Crochet. They kind of want to be a starter, but he's out for the year. They've gone after bullpen guys when that was never their biggest issue. They had starters that had length with Rodon last year and Lance Lynn, who's also going to be out a little bit, and Giolito. Those guys could give him length. They didn't need a 9-horse bullpen, but that's what they elected to do instead of getting bats. And then it turns out they played the Astros and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What kind of? I think they get there off matchups too. Like I think AL East teams wind up playing each other, beating each other up. That team runs into the Astros, lose again. Classic Astros, just bullying the AL East. It's one of those things.
I like the White Sox a lot. I mean, I'm a big Rays fan, but I think the White Sox got some really good pitching. But what about the National League? I'm very interested to see the take on your guys' side for that.
Yeah, so the National League is a really weird side, right? It's kind of the Dodgers, and then you have the Braves, and then you kind of have everybody else, right? Because the Dodgers are like maybe the best lineup ever constructed. Then you have the national or the world champions with the Braves, right? And then it's like a lot of question marks. You have the Mets who look absolutely loaded.
Yeah, they look very good. I think you're very asleep on the Mets right now.
You're not letting me say the whole picture here. You have the Padres who have a lot of expectations, and when Fernando Tatis Jr. comes back, they have the third best player in the world on their team. So it's like that's something to take into consideration. Then you look at the Giants. The Giants are a weird team that they kind of got better, but also kind of got worse. Like I don't really know what to feel about them. They remind me a lot of the Rays, where like they don't do anything. So in theory, they should get worse, but they won't. But they made moves. They lose Descalfani. They get Rodon, who's better. I don't know. They lose Buster Posey, but Joey Barton's a home run opening day. I don't know. So
it's like you're absolutely saying everything perfectly right. Like,
and you know what I'm saying? And then you look at
whatever.
and then you look at the Central too, and like the Cardinals have the best defense maybe of all time as a roster currently.
Yeah.
But like I don't trust their bats consistently enough. Like Tyler O'Neill might be the most slept on player in baseball.
And, he's playing very well.
And he's playing really well to start the year too. And but I still don't think they have enough in terms of hitting, and they certainly don't have enough in terms of pitching. If Adam Wainwright's starting in their wild card game, like that just can't be what happens. And I love Adam Wainwright; he's a Hall of Famer potentially, but like he can't be in his 23rd season starting a wild card game. That's ridiculous. Then you look at the Brewers, right? The Brewers have the best pitching staff I've maybe ever seen from top to bottom in terms of like a 6-man rotation, and they can't beat the Cubs. Like, so I don't really know what to think about the NL.
It's weird.
That's just gonna be my synopsis of the league.
Yeah.
I do think it's Dodgers are the echelon. Like if the Dodgers don't win the NL, I think it's a problem. Then you have the Braves because again they won the World Series and in theory they get better. I don't even think it's in theory. They get better. They lose Freddie Freeman and they low key upgrade with Matt Olson. Matt Olson's leading the league in hits right now 3 games into the year.
Shout out.
Ronald Acuna's coming back. Like
oh yeah, dang, man, jeez.
And
it's wild.
And I guarantee you, I don't think this is a this year thing, but hear me out. This is my hot take. Ozzy Albies is going to stop swinging lefty because he is not a good hitter as a lefty. He is going to reverse Cedric Mullins, become an exclusive righty hitter, and is going to become an MVP candidate by next year.
Okay.
Because he is an abysmal lefty hitter, and he's to throw it away. Just stop. It's not that important. Just hit righty. It's not that serious.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, right. Just focus on one thing. It makes it more simple, a lot more easier to focus
Cedric
on.
Mullins was elite last year because he stopped hitting righty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
saying all that doesn't make picking the National League winner
No,
any
no, no, no.
easier.
That was just kind
I
of
think
thrown out there. No, that was just
No,
I think
I know. In fact, it makes it harder because now you see all that and you look at all that and you have the three at the top. But it's like, do you go with the Goliath or do you go with the Davids? And that's the thing. Like, do you go with the Padres and hope that Tatis just comes back and leads them and has an MVP caliber season and just takes them to the moon? You would hope
yes,
so,
yes,
right? Because
yes.
that's what they need.
Tatis is gonna miss 2 months and he's still gonna hit 40 homers. That's my
That's
I
what
opinion.
just
they
think
need to win it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think right again, it's really early to be saying anything at all.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is
But
strictly just
That's why we do
predictions.
yeah,
previews. We
absolutely.
might
This is
we might
like
be wrong on every single one of
we're
these.
That's
gonna
fine.
we're gonna be some completely wrong, but my hot take is that the Mets are gonna go all the way. They're gonna challenge the Goliath. Atlanta's good in a sense, right? Yeah, they're in that top contender spot, but again, their pitching is kind of getting a little not as good as it's not. It didn't get any better in a sense, right?
I mean, they get Mike Soroka back. That's improving.
Yeah, that's fair, but Ian Anderson hasn't been pitching as well as he had been 2 seasons ago. He's kind of been dropping the ball on in a sense there, right? And I just think in a sense, right, we get back Ronald Acuna. Yeah, your offense is really great, but again, pitching, defense wins championships. So, in my sense, the Mets look phenomenal. With their starting pitchers look great. Their guys in the bullpen phenomenal, and they have on paper a
great
really high
lineup on
power, one
paper,
of the
yeah.
better offenses
Yeah.
in the National League, one of the best offenses aside from the Dodgers, right? On paper, right? So again, the National League is going to be between the Dodgers and the Mets, in my opinion. In that it's going to be those two teams. It's
So
going to be
who's going to the World Series though of those two?
I like the Mets. I really do. Max Scherzer. You have Chris Bassett. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but
No, Bassett.
Chris Bassett has been playing. He had a phenomenal start. Been playing very well last year with Oakland, and he's just funky. Weird, like goofy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just hard to pick up on that. Cookie Carrasco, veteran. You know what I'm saying? Seth Lugo coming out of the bullpen. Edwin Diaz. You got some guys that can just pitch and who've been there. So again, you're also led by a big mix in a sense of young to like veterans in the lineup that you have too as well. Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, veterans like Robinson Cano, Lindor, so many guys. There's just so many different things. So I mean, on paper, I really see the Mets going all the way to the World Series this year on the other side of New York. How do you guys feel? Like, do you guys like hate as New York fans? Do you guys,
I'm a
hate,
Mets.
like, Mets?
I'm a Mets guy. I like the Mets.
Okay.
I don't
I
actively
know,
root
like,
for the Mets,
yeah.
but like I'm here for the Mets. As
Like
New York.
I have my New York teams, but I'm a New York fan at the end of the day. So unless they're playing each other, that's the only time I'm going for the other one. But I always want the other side to
Yeah. There's no reason for
do
me
it
to hate.
because it's good for the city. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it's the same here. Like if Tampa, they're two different like leagues, right? So if Tampa doesn't go to the World Series, you know what I'm saying, and Miami does, I'm cool with Miami. Go with Miami.
Yeah,
Go Florida.
it's a little different, but
Exactly.
I hear you because they're not like
Yeah.
actually actively going against each
Yeah,
other.
I know. Yeah.
So
It's a
no,
little
I
different,
do
but-
feel that. Um,
Brooke, who do you have? Who's your
who do you
takes?
have?
Well, you reiterated everything that I've been saying for weeks now about the Mets. I do think they're the best team on paper. They're just disgusting. That pitching, the bats. It, you look at it and it's like, how can this team lose? But the Mets will find a way to lose. But I don't think they'll lose as much as the Mets like to. I do think that they'll make a run. And I want to say that I do agree with Nico that they could come out and make it to the World Series as
Right.
well. And I would love to say the Padres end up facing them in the CS. I don't think
Say
they
it.
do, though.
Say it.
I-
Sean Manaea threw a no hitter through 7 in his debut. Say it.
He was doing. Yeah, no, that
Say it.
Padres got talent too.
Yeah. So,
But if Jacob DeGrom comes back, does he?
which
Is
he
he allowed to
will.
come back this
He'll
season?
come back.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, he'll probably get hurt again, but
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
No
that's a
way.
beautiful thing with previews. You go with What you think?
Yeah.
Hey, now
And then
I
hopefully
love Jacob,
he
you
comes
know.
back and he shoves.
Hopefully,
He went to
man.
Stetson in Orlando, so shout out Jacob, man.
Shout out
Shout out. But
Jacob.
yeah,
That's
you go with the other best pitching staff in the National League. So shout out
The
Padres
Brewers?
and Mets. Another one.
The Brewers? Because they have the best pitching staff in baseball.
Another one. You
Okay,
got the
okay.
Brewers, you got the Padres, you
Okay.
got the Mets.
Okay.
They all got great pitching staffs.
Okay. So hear me
Not
out now, right?
not the other one.
Now hear me out.
But,
I like the Mets. I think they're fun. I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to be healthy. I don't think the ground plays anywhere near as much as he should this year. I think Lindor continues to struggle. I think Starling Marte takes a step back offensively. I think Pete Alonso was a fantastic year.
Yeah.
I don't think they win a division. They're going to make the playoffs. We have an extra spot in the playoffs. They'll make it. I don't know how far they go. They'll make it though.
Fair enough.
I'm. Here's the thing, right? If the Dodgers don't make the playoffs, or don't make the playoffs, imagine if they don't make the playoffs. Oh my God. If the Dodgers don't make the World Series, this is about as big of a failure in the sport as we've maybe ever seen. I'm sure there's better ones. Like I'm sure all those Braves teams from the '90s not winning more than one World Series is up there, and all that,
Yeah.
and the Yankees not full winning as many as they should have in the 2000s. Like that's fine, but if the Dodgers don't make the World Series, this is the biggest failure in modern baseball, and so they have to. They're going to do it. They have to do it. They have the best first. They have the second best first baseman in baseball. They have the second best right fielder in baseball. They have the best shortstop in baseball, or second best.
Who's the first best first baseman in baseball?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
As like overall, or like-
yeah.
defensively too. Like,
When he's that much better offensively, yes.
okay, that's all right. I just wanted to hear your take on that.
Defense is only important when like your offense is okay. Like Anthony Rizzo is a cool first baseman because he's like a middling hitter, but he's a great defender. So it's like, well,
Phenomenal,
at least he
bro.
got that, you know.
Yeah.
Who cares about
Your
Vlad's
shortstop
defense?
can start throwing out his shoelaces, and so it'll be all right.
And that's fine. But like if Vlad makes an error at first, it's okay because he's gonna hit a 2-run bomb that game anyway. So like, who cares?
That's super fair.
You know. Vlad, they just stacked it. They literally have a top 5 player at every single position on the field.
Yeah.
Except for when Cody Bellinger's playing. Because, you know. But like Will Smith is
shout out
crazy
Cody.
underrated. Max Muncy was fantastic last year, and they just replaced him at first. Justin Turner is like the most slept on player in baseball for whatever reason. He had a great year last year, and we're still like, Justin Turner, we can forget about him.
Yeah.
He's really good. And then
Walker Buehler,
Buehler's
Dustin
a beast.
May.
Dustin May, whenever he's healthy, I don't know if he'll play this year. Urias has had a great couple of seasons in a row now. Kershaw is still Clayton Kershaw. Remember I said Justin Verlander was the best pitcher of the decade? Well, Kershaw's been the best pitcher since 2000. Like,
Yeah.
This team is absolutely stacked. They do lose a couple things with Pollock. They lose Jansen. There are some losses, but you get Freddie Freeman. So
My only thing with this Dodger team is you look at them, there should be no reason that they don't win the World Series and make it there. I just feel like whatever there is there, the expectations are too high, and I feel like they fold.
I don't think those guys fold to expectations, though. Like, Mookie Betts is not a guy who folds to expectations. Freddie Freeman clearly doesn't do it.
No,
Trey Turner clearly doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Kershaw kind of does. but like,
he's just been in the league for so long, man.
you're bound to have you're
yeah.
bound to have blips. It's like
Exactly.
people saying like, oh, well, Mariano lost the World Series against the Diamondbacks. It's like, yeah, dude, he pitched for 22 years. Of course,
it's gonna happen.
Of
It's gonna
course.
People are gonna. You have so much film on that, like
Yeah, exactly. And he
So
threw
much.
one
You
pitch.
ain't
Like, of
need
course you're
film
gonna
on. Yeah, you ain't need film on Mariano.
You know what pitch is coming.
dude.
You still can't hit him. But it's one of those things like if the Dodgers don't get there, it's embarrassing. And I have to I'm just gonna ride it. I don't really want them to be there. Just because I really want to see Fernando get in the mix. I would love to see the Mets break whatever Mets seal is going on. I would love to see the Brewers. I want to see a small market team do something cool. It's been a while since we've really seen that. I mean, the Nationals did it, but like they had plenty of star power there, right? The Brewers
It's
are
hard to call Washington a small market.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to say that. The Brewers are legitimately a small market. I would love to see them do well, and they're stacked to do it. Just they need to figure it out. I think they got better in the offseason too. They got Hunter Renfroe. They got rid of Jackie Bradley Jr. That's like a net positive losing him and a net positive gaining the other. So like,
and then you hope you get
back.
Yelich back. And
that's
back into form.
But
there's a lot of guys. Mike Brosseau too. Rowdy Tellez, just your big first baseman to come and hit you a ball again. But another team that's got length in the terms of young guys to veterans. Lorenzo Cain, Andrew McCutchen, Colton Wong, guys who are in their prime. Willie Adames.
McCutchen's going to be big for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. I agree. McCutchen's going to be very, very good. And then there's just a lot of room for possibility, let's say,
in the NL I think more so because like I don't know, there's like 7 teams. Like we haven't even talked about the Giants really. Like I mentioned them at the beginning, and none of us like are predicting the Giants to be good. The Giants won to that division last year. They won that division last year.
And not to mention Carlos Rodon is looking dirty.
Yeah, he looks better than he looks healthy and he looks really good.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Really good.
Yeah, the NL's deep, man.
And we're talking about guys looking really good. It doesn't matter what league. We're not gonna this next part we're gonna do just total, right? What's a guy in the MLB that you're looking to have a breakout year? They could have been a known name, but this is like the year to take a step, or a guy that we don't necessarily know that is going to emerge as a just stud.
I'm going with a guy that's coming off of an injury, that healthy, playing at his full potential all the way through, could be an MVP candidate. Luis Robert, only playing 68 games in 2021. He had 93 hits, 43 RBIs, and 13 home runs. You play 162, those stats are going to look spicy.
Yeah.
And he is a dangerous force that you don't want to see in a lineup.
5-tool player.
5-tool player, just extremely talented young star. And I really do think that he stays healthy this year on a White Sox team that has potential to do something and is surrounded by a lot of other ballers on that team. Luis Robert is going to have a crazy breakout year.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
For me, I'm going to go with kind of, an underdog sense, in a sense. I'm going to go with Jorge Soler.
Okay.
And the Miami Marlins. I feel like a team that we haven't talked about much at all really are the Marlins, because they're again another one of those teams that's a big what if, right? They're more in a younger sense in this term of a roster that they have, a lot of younger guys. But like me and Ju were talking about earlier, their staff is a dominant staff.
They have legitimately 10 guys that could start and do well in the MLB.
Yeah, and they have
a really bright future.
You have Sandy Alcantara, Sixto Sanchez. There's a lot of guys that can really go up there and throw. But again, Jorge Soler, in my opinion, he's again that veteran outfielder for you that you're gonna get, right? He plays right field. He's got a good arm. And the outfield sense, he's kind of been through his young early stages, right, with Chicago and Kansas City. I'm sure a lot of people who watch baseball have seen his little goofy sense where he caught the foul ball, whatever, and threw it in the stands, didn't remember the outs, whatever. Jorge Soler's been through it all. He's kind of a goofy, right, in a sense. But no, if you look at his last couple of seasons, he's just kind of gotten better since about 2020, right? So in a sense, he kind of fell off the sense in 2020, did a really bad season. 2021, we had a really good year with him when he played in Kansas and then got traded to Atlanta. He's actually playing very well.
World Series
he hit
MVP.
he hit about 269. He hit
way up,
I believe,
for him, by the way. He's like a career 200 hitter.
Yeah, exactly. 269, which is great. I think he almost 15 bombs, I think, or something like that. And then this year, he's kind of now taking on that kind of leadership role in Miami. He's going to be the right fielder. He's their leadoff guy, hitting well, starting off the season. And I feel like he's going to be the aggressive kind of just, guy that the Marlins look up to, right? So they have a really young staff, the Marlins, and that as a whole. So Jorge Soler is going to be the breakout star. I think this year he's gonna do some great things, especially in that leadoff spot.
Okay.
And the crazy thing about the Marlins, just to throw that in there since we're on them, their lineup is probably one of the best bad team lineups that they. Yeah. The bats that they have on there, especially with the pitching.
Again, the Marlins just their
spicy.
offense could be good, but those guys
Yeah.
are not going to live up to expectations, so they're not going to score that
No,
much.
no,
That's just
no.
kind of what's
Yeah,
going to
no.
happen. But
Yeah.
so I'm actually going to go ahead and go to a pitcher. I'm going to look at a team that nobody really knows what they're doing, and that's the Cincinnati Reds. Just so you guys know, I'm officially off my Reds fandom. I've been a Reds fan for the last 2 years. It's been fun. I enjoyed it. But with the departure of Jesse Winker, I will also be departing. But I do think my breakout star from this year is going to be off their team. And it's a pitcher. I do think Jonathan India is going to be having a great year. I think he's awesome and he's really fun to watch. But a guy that you guys need to watch out for is Tyler Mahle. Tyler Mahle, last year in the second half in particular, was absolutely shut down. And whenever they were actually winning a big game, it was because he was most likely on the bump, giving them 7 innings. He looked really, really good. And I just really like how his fastball's ticked up a little bit in this offseason. He's kind of added a little bit more depth to his off-speed pitches. And if he's able to control like he does in those longer starts, he does have a little bit of a he'll leave a mistake or two in some early games, knock him out of the game early. If he's able to kind of avoid that, and if he's able to give them 170 innings this year, I think he's a sleeper Cy Young candidate. Like, I think this guy is going to have a fantastic year. The issue is he's going to have a lot of losses because I don't think they're going to be ultra competitive. They'll be somewhere in the middle of that division because it's not a good division. But I don't know. Tyler Mahle, I started that not everybody's talking about that I think is going to be really nice. He had a great debut this year as well. So
Yeah. He did.
that's my guy.
I like it.
I like Tyler Mahle a lot. I think he's very good. Again, he's just on a weird team.
He's in a weird situation.
He's the Ben Zobrist in like 2016 when he was with, or like I'm sorry, in like 2014 when he was with the Rays. You know, one of the best like players. I was just on like a
the
weird
Rays
team
was just like
in a sense.
not particular. They're a
Bad.
full transition. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it sucks. Those players do get overlooked. But you know, hopefully he puts up some numbers and gets him a nice little payday and gets out.
And I definitely think that's coming up. I think he's in his 5th or 6th year, so he'll be approaching that soon. So shout out Tyler. Hopefully he has a good year. We're gonna go pretty quickly. MVP. Who's somebody you think is gonna win it? Not both leagues. Doesn't matter. I don't care which league. Just give me a singular MVP.
Can we all say the same person? Because I'm pretty sure if anybody says anybody else, I think it's like kind of silly. But we should all just on the count of 3 say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Vladimir Guerrero. Hey, no, guys, don't think Vladdy Jr. is going to be MVP
That was never
this
the
year?
thought that came to my head.
Really? Vladdy Guerrero
No.
not being MVP this year?
Vladdy's great. I love Vladdy.
Vladdy.
Vladdy's a superstar and will win MVP one day. Almost won it last year. I don't have him doing it this year.
I think he can win it this year on that Blue Jays team. Again, he's gonna be put in those situations where he's gonna have to either come up and play and be an MVP, or be a rookie, be a young guy in the league. So I think Vlad Guerrero Jr. does it this year fully and wins MVP. I was gonna go with a pitcher, but Vlad Guerrero. I think he's gonna get it fully this year, in my opinion.
Okay.
Who are you guys going with?
In my opinion, I got somebody who hasn't been able to really stay on the field to have a MVP caliber season. But back in, 2017, when he did have this MVP season, he went off. And we saw last year where he was healthy. He was able to be on the field and he put up good numbers.
It's Aaron Judge. It's Aaron Judge.
It is not Aaron Judge. He put up 35 home runs, 97 RBIs with a 870 OPS, and I do think Giancarlo Stanton has a very good chance at winning MVP this year if he stays healthy.
I can get behind that.
And that is not a homer take. I promise you.
That.
I do think Giancarlo, if he's on the field producing the way he very much could, you got to think 2019 he played 18 games, 2020 23 games. 2021, 139. So the talk of Giancarlo not being healthy this year, it's a chance that he is.
Listen, if Giancarlo played the Red Sox every game, he would 100% win MVP.
Yeah. So
But okay, I guess we're all going American League here. And we're all going, or no, we're not all going. I'm going an outfielder as well. His name's not Mike Trout. I'm going with the guy who in his last 100 games has 35 home runs with a 900 OPS, and I think it's 27 defensive runs saved in his last 100 games. Now, granted, he can't stay on the field, but he's the best defender in the sport. And all of a sudden, he is an elite power hitter. We're going with Byron Buxton. If Byron Buxton is on the field, he is as special of a player as we have ever seen. I'm not saying he's the best player of all time or anything like that.
No.
But his skill set and that he is in the top 0.1% of speed that has ever existed in this league.
He's so fast.
He has insane power to all sides of the field. He can hit, like, there's no weakness necessarily in his hitting game. Like, he hits all types of pitches in any part of the zone. It's just a matter of staying healthy, and he just hasn't been able to do that. The Twins saw that he was that guy, and they gave him a big contract, and I'm hoping he lives up to it. I really, really, really want Byron Buxton to be that player that I don't think anybody expected him to be this. I think we were hoping. Nope. I think we were hoping he would develop the hitting. Like, it was always like, if Byron Buxton, it's Ben Simmons, right? If he can hit a three, if he can hit a shot. This is Ben Simmons if he started to develop a shot. That's what Byron Buxton. It's a unicorn of a player.
You look at Buxton and it's like, that guy's not a power hitter.
And he just
he can't hit the ball like that.
He generates so much power.
Especially seeing him from his first couple seasons.
That's the crazy thing. Nico. He's a different player. He's just a different player.
Yeah. I want to look at like his career numbers real quick.
They're weird again because like most of his, I don't think he has any. He has one season with more than 100 games played, and I think that was in like
2017.
Yeah, 17. So
and that season he had 16 home runs, 117 hits, batting .253.
Yeah, no, he's like you said. He's also he's had years in the league now. So like people have like this initial image, of Byron Buxton, or this initial view, like of who Buxton is and like what he's done as a player. So like he is quick and one of those players to just get shut down and shut out, right? Because he's the
fast guy and he's an outfielder.
Exactly.
And when he was brought into the league, he did kind of have this little hype around him, right?
You
know what I'm saying? Like,
it was the speed. Like, he was making diving plays every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So he had this, like, this little kind of media hype around him, and kind of didn't live up to it, in a sense, right? But no, like you said, he's just gotten better from 2018 or 19, the year he went 156 because he got injured or whatever. Didn't get to play that season, and then started to get better as he was playing, and then injury, not healthy. But not to mention, his bat is great, but his defense, man.
I think he's the best. He's the best defensive outfielder in baseball. Besides maybe Mookie.
He's a 5-tool.
Yeah. He's literally the 5-tool player. Yeah, he absolutely is.
I'm not mad at that at all. Buxton has a very good chance.
If he could hit the ball like Trout, man.
Well, and here's the thing, too. If the Twins get second or win their division, it's likely because he's hitting with a 900 OPS with 40 bombs, and he's at a 162 weighted runs created.
That's what the Twins are going to need. They're going to need their top-heavy guys to produce if they want to win that division.
And, hey, guess what? He's starting off the season hot. It's the first weekend.
He's leading the league in home runs.
3 bombs.
And let me tell you, they were not wall scrapers. They were bombs. So
bomb.
I'm going to look at Buxton. Obviously, like, we're all thinking it's realistically going to be Trout or Ohtani. Like, that's obviously, like...
You got to go into every season saying that. Just like it's easy to say the Dodgers are... All right, like you got the obvious ones.
And I'm not here to disagree with those. They're obvious for a reason.
No.
But
exactly.
Again, Mike Trout's the best player in baseball. He just is. But like
exactly. If he's on the field playing healthy, he's an MVP candidate from opening day.
Well,
opening day.
And here's the thing too, like we didn't mention National League teams because this was just the one thing. But like we can all probably agree that if we had to pick one from the National League, it's Juan Soto, right? Like that's like the guy that is next up. Like that is the face of baseball, maybe right now. outside of
Yeah.
Shohei. Like that's the guy. And so, again, it's kind of obvious. Like we're not here to talk about Juan Soto because if we wanted to talk about Juan Soto, we could. I think we're 40 minutes into this episode. We could do a 40-minute episode on Juan Soto. We could just do it.
Yeah.
He's that special.
Absolutely.
He's the most electrified player in basebal right now.
He's that special.
One of the most, outside of Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, and I mean the only
Juan
reason
Soto,
Tatis
and Acuna, you could
most
make an
electrifying
argument.
players in
they're
baseball
fun.
right now.
They're
yeah.
really fun.
Our argument
They
for all
make it
three of
fun.
them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They make
Yeah.
it so fun. We love to see those
Absolutely.
these young Hispanic men just with so much energy, just
I
so
love it.
electric.
I love
the thing you said right there, young. This man is young. Like he's our age.
So
he's
he's
my
22.
age, I should
He's
say. I'm
literally
sorry. He's
younger than
my
me in
age.
Brooklyn by like 2 years.
He
Yeah, let's not do this young talent superstar talk because I say it to
Yeah.
Jew every time.
Yeah.
Don't start it because we could do a whole episode on it because the young talent is just insane.
Wander
it's so
Franco
fun to
can't even
watch.
drink yet. And
It's
got
insane.
So much he can bathe in money for the next 20 years.
Well,
Don't
you know what's
get
great?
Jew started. Don't get Jew started
No,
with
no, no.
the money talk on Franco.
I wasn't. I was gonna pivot. Because
Okay.
young guys, Spencer Torkelson, Bobby Witt Jr., Hunter Green, Julio Rodriguez. I'm still gonna throw Jared Kelnick in there.
Adley Rutschman once he
Adley
gets
Rushman
off the.
is man.
Vlad
Shane
Jr..
Baz, Vlad Jr. still will count.
He's
Like,
still
this is his
he's
third
still a
year.
kid.
Yeah.
And he's my age, 21.
These guys are so
22.
fun. Even Will Smith is super young. Like, Keibert Ruiz is about to start playing for the Nationals. He's gonna be a load of fun to watch. Josiah
And it's-
Gray over there too. Like, there's so many. Casey
But
Mize
so-
is still young. We forget about Casey Mize. He's a beast.
Throw in Orioles legend
Yeah.
Richie Martin in there too.
Yeah, of course,
And
of course.
and the thing is
Dude,
with baseball,
future
you don't
Gold
really-
Glover.
Kyle
And with
Tucker.
baseball, you don't.
Kyle Tucker.
He's former Tampa native, Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
And you see that
It goes on and on.
That's the thing you see with baseball, though. It's like it's not like NBA where you get drafted and you go right into the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're
it
playing
takes
for
some
the
time,
Boston
yeah.
Celtics. Yeah, it takes a grueling process to get through that process or to get to where you want to be into the big leagues, right? And so for the guys to be getting there, getting drafted, and some of these guys like Hunter Green getting drafted out of high school at 18 years old, you know what I'm saying?
He's 20
For them
now
to be
and he's
making it
starting.
into the league at 20, 21, 22,
Crazy,
you know, that's crazy. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
actually
People are
crazy.
it's like it takes years for that to come for
Well,
some
and
people.
that didn't happen before. Like before Steven Strasburg, like that just didn't happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's a reason there's a lot of Nationals fans out there because Steven Strasburg and Bryce Harper were so incredibly polarizing, and we're seeing that again, right? It's been a little bit since we had like young guys this exciting all at the same time, but like Bobby Witt Jr. opening weekend just had a weekend, and
Who's
you know
up
there's
to bat
been-
right now on this Guardian Royals game?
Yeah. I was looking at that. I was just looking
I
at
didn't
that.
even I don't got it on, so
Yeah.
I didn't see, but I mean,
Yeah.
he had a really good opening weekend, and this guy's young, and he's so hyped up, and these guys are mostly, obviously, like some aren't. Joe Adele, that's tough. Joe Adele had a brutal weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Brutal. And, you know, not every young guy lives up to it, and you hope they do, but that's just not the way it goes. Hopefully all these guys do, though.
Yeah.
It's so fun to watch.
It's very, very fun to watch.
Baseball's coming young game.
But we're gonna hop up out of here. But before we go, last preseason, quote unquote, preseason takes. Go. What is everybody's hot take for the year? Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't have to be a World Series winner. What's everybody's hot take for the year?
Well, we had one more award winner, so I'm gonna just throw that out. Shohei Ohtani won Cy Young.
Oh,
Not Garrett
Cy
Cole?
Young.
Yeah, Garrett Cole sucks actually after this.
I think
weekend,
Carlos
so-
Rodon wins Cy Young this year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be so dominant in San Francisco. I think he's just been a dominant force in
That's-
Chicago.
Why not both? we could have both of them.
You want to hear my super hot take?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Verlander wins Cy Young.
Ooh.
Grandpa?
The
Oh,
weirdest hot take
Grandpa
ever. The weirdest hot
Grandpa
take ever,
Ver.
but it is out of nowhere.
No.
Verlander
Dude, all
wins
of
his
us, he's the one who's
sixth Cy
dating
Young?
our childhood model crush dreams, Kate Upton.
He might as well keep living
I got a
the
few
dream.
other crushes.
Yeah, you live a
Man.
different childhood.
Okay,
than me.
Kate's like mid on my list.
She was as a kid, when I remember in middle school, she was the prettiest girl I've ever seen in my life.
We know Nico's type.
We didn't go Cy Young.
That's
It's
right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
All
fair.
right.
We all love it.
My hot take of the year is, unfortunately, the Padres, I feel like, are going to do the bed, and that's going to be due to
Again?
injuries.
Okay.
Huh? I think they're
Again?
gonna have, yeah. I think they're gonna be an injury prone. Honestly, I don't want to wish like anything, any type of like bad stuff about people or anything like that. But I just don't see. I feel like they're gonna not allow Fernando to get fully healthy and for them
Rush
to
him
take their
out
time.
there.
I feel like they're gonna rush him to get him
Yeah.
out there, and in
Yeah.
a sense, it's gonna deteriorate him and hurt him, and he's gonna become the next.
I mean,
Derrick
that's on them.
Rose,
They're
in
the
a
ones who
sense,
signed him
right?
to like an 11-year deal.
Yeah,
so.
they're going to realize that they need him to be on the field for them to be in the race because he's out for 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
2 months. Yeah.
So they're going to be like, look, come on, get back.
Yeah, bro. Like, let's go. We're paying you so much money, bro. Like, come on.
He's
Like,
like,
we
"I'm
need you to start
sorry."
doing this. Because I'll tell you right now, in 11 years, the Padres won't be. Who knows, right? But
Who
they probably
knows,
won't be
yeah.
in the same type of position that they're in right now.
Probably
That's for
not.
sure, right? The position they're in right now is very, very good. So they're probably gonna be like, "Yo, Fernando, let's go," and he'll probably be like, "Okay, I go." So.
And little update on Bobby Witt from that at bat, first career stolen base. Shout out.
Shout out
Heard
Bobby
it here
Witt.
first.
Shout out Bobby Witt. I know I just said the Verlander, but that was my Cy Young winner. My hot take on the year is that the Miami Marlins make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't
I
even
love
think
that.
that's a hot take.
I love it.
It has to
I
be a
love
hot take.
it.
It has to be a hot take.
I love it. Yeah, and at least
You know
come
why
on.
it's a hot take? You know why it's a hot take? Because if they
Why?
make the playoffs, that means the Phillies can't.
I
I'm
don't
not
see the-
surprised. I'm not
yeah.
surprised if the Phillies don't make the playoffs.
I mean, I
Bryce
think a lot
Harper's
of
hitting
people think
96.
that's a really good lineup. They have some.
I
really
like
good-
the
Harper's
Phillies.
They have some really good starters.
They do. They do.
Zach
but-
Wheeler was
On paper.
elite last year. Ranger Suarez
But
was really good. Aaron Nola has to have a bounce back year. There's no way he doesn't.
What did Brooklyn say about the Mets, that the Mets are gonna do like what the Mets do and
The
find
Mets
a
are
way to
gonna
lose?
Met.
I feel like
Phillies
the
gonna
Phillies
Philly.
are gonna
The
find a
Phillies
way,
gonna
to
Philly?
lose.
Yeah,
They're
Phillies
gonna
gonna
find
Philly.
a way to lose. They're just.
I'm
Bryce
on.
Harper's
I'm on
not-
the same boat.
I was on the listen. I was such a fan of Bryce Harper and like a big like Bryce Harper.
I mean, I love Bryce. I just think the team sucks.
I still am.
Yeah.
I'm a big Schwarber fan. I'm a big Castellanos fan. Shout out Didi.
Team
Love
still
him.
sucks.
I just don't think
Team
Gabe is.
team
I
still
don't think
sucks.
Gabe is doing the right thing in Philly right
Team still sucks.
No.
Okay, yeah. My hot take: Miami makes the playoffs.
now. Is a hot take to say that I think that the Rangers will make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that's a hot take. Certainly.
That's a hot take. You really think so? That
Yes.
lineup is pretty deadly.
They're the
If you
third
look at
best
it on
team in that.
paper.
They're maybe the fourth best team in that division.
So 7 teams make the playoffs, right?
Yes.
So let's just throw in all 4 from the AL
Let's
East.
lock in the White Sox, the AL East, so that's 5, and the Astros. That's
Astros
6.
6.
Who's making
So-
that 7th spot?
The Rangers.
The Rangers got to fight
Not
between the
Seattle?
Twins,
No.
Seattle,
The
and
Rangers.
the Angels. I don't like
Listen,
the
I
I don't like the
I don't
Rangers.
like that.
You
I
don't
like
like
the
the
Rangers.
I
Rangers?
don't like that.
They
I like
got
that.
three
I like
more
Seattle.
teams.
I actually think Seattle's really good.
I think the Angels. If I'm gonna give a team hot take, I think the Angels make the playoffs. I think Mike Trout. We finally see the best player in baseball in the playoffs.
Mitch Garver, one of the best catchers in baseball right now. You know what I'm saying? Well, man, Mitch Garver, he's up there, brother. And you got Javi.
They need a
You got-
lot over there.
You got
Texas.
listen. Corey Seager, Marcus Simeon.
Dude, okay, but I will say I don't know where their offense came from, but they just decided they were gonna score 1,000,000 runs.
Yeah, bro. Like they have
Exposing
potential.
that Blue Jays pitching staff that you guys were glucking down earlier.
No,
Exposing them.
I'm saying that I'm scared of the Blue Jays pitching staff because I don't think they're gonna be good.
I don't think they're gonna be good at all.
I think that's
That's what I was saying. I'm scared of their bats.
I'm
but
told they're
I'm not
one
confident
of
on
the best in the
their.
AL, and I don't believe it.
No, I'm not confident on the Blue Jays pitching at all. Their starters are
Okay,
mid,
they're fine.
but their bullpen.
Jose Barrios is
Not-
cool. I don't
Yeah.
even like this.
Their
or not
starters
this
are
one.
mid.
I don't like Kevin Gausman that much.
The
Kevin
names
Gau-
are good.
Kevin
the names
Gausman
are
had
good.
one good year, and people think he's
Yeah.
like elite. And
But I'm talking about as a collective and what we've seen them do when it comes down to it. It's mid. So
I'm not big Nate Pearson, dog, man. He come back, he gonna be good.
Nate Pearson's
Ross
just
Stripling.
Michael Kopech with
yeah.
a travel visa. That's all he is.
He can go to Canada.
That's all he is, bro.
I can't
They're
never
just-
go to Cannon.
they're the same pitcher. And I mean, hey, they're both cool, but like, come on now. Like, this is like year 4 of
Hey.
him becoming like, he's going to be the next star, and I'm still waiting.
No, do you remember though? I don't know that lineup is the offense is gonna be him, but the pitching they have potential to be good.
They do have
But the
potential.
Rays, man, unfortunately the Rays are gonna be in the AL East and they're gonna shut it all down. So sorry guys.
It's okay. The
guys
Rangers
wanna
will
talk
be
a little
there. That's all that matters in this thing.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit
That's
more
where
about
the
the
stakes
Rays?
start.
Yeah,
We don't want to talk about the race.
I
You
don't
guys
care
wanna-
about the Rays at all. I care about the Rangers. Brick, did you say your hot take?
Well, yeah, I started with Ohtani winning Cy Young.
Oh, that's not the
then
hot take. Yeah, that's not the hot take. We need a hot take.
Angels make playoffs.
Okay.
That's super hot.
That's
Angels
super
make
hot. All
playoffs.
of ours are playoff takes. All of ours are playoff takes. I
Yeah.
like that. I'll go another weird one. Somebody that's not one of the big prospects wins Rookie of the Year.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know who.
There's a lot of big prospects.
I don't know who. We could go Seiya Suzuki if we want to do that, but I don't think. I think it's gonna be kind of like a random guy.
But you got to put Suzuki in that big prospect one, right?
Probably. He's making
Just
a lot
because of how
money.
hyped up he is.
Making a lot of money.
Yeah, like you can't put him under that top tier,
Yeah.
in my
Well,
opinion. At
I'm
least.
gonna say it's gonna be one like random pitcher from the Colorado Rockies, or like something like that, something weird. I don't even know. It's gonna be a guy that we don't expect. It won't be whoever's in the National League. Like it won't be Kaber, or it won't be Suzuki. That's my take.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
yeah,
I think
so,
what's his name? The manager for the Padres. What's his name? Tingler?
no, he's gone. It's it's the guy from Oakland now. Why am I blanking on his name? The old manager of Oakland from last year is now managing the Padres.
I gotta look this up. I'm sorry,
I'm
Padres.
blanking on his name. I almost said Billy
yeah.
Bean, but it's not Billy Bean. It's not Billy
Bob
Bean.
Melvin.
Bob Melvin, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bob Melvin's the
Yeah.
manager there. I was like, man, I can't think of his name.
Okay.
Yeah, Billy Bean is not the manager of the Padres. It's Bob Melvin.
Billy Bean.
Yeah.
I think
Shout out Billy
might be-
Bean.
which might be a hot take though. Which might be a hot take too as well. Is if the Rays don't do as good as they should do this year. Kevin Cash.
He gets axed? Really? Like
I think
that?
he gets- I think he's gonna. The Rays are notably known to be doing some stupid stuff whenever it comes to getting rid of people, and we love to move GMs and front office around very much. So there's a lot of saying, just some local talk, right? You know how they talk about moving the Rays to Ybor. They shut that down, and now apparently that's opening back up because the new general manager is down for it. So there's a whole lot of things that are circulating. And when new front office people come in, they want to bring in
they want a
new
clean
new
house, yeah.
coaching.
They
Yeah,
want a
they want a
clean
clean house. You know what I'm saying? Like what Derek Jeter did when he came in. See ya, everybody going.
If that's the case, and you guys flop this year, and you guys make moves, you guys are trading Kiermaier.
Oh, absolutely.
Should have traded Kiermaier before the season. Yeah, you should have traded him
he's-
before the
he's
season. He's
paid-
making
he's
too much
so
money.
over.
Yeah.
He's the most overrated Gold Glove 198 hitter, and I mean, well, he hit 225 last year, so whatever.
But you can't hit 225 and not hit for power either.
It's a clutch 225, so I will give him that.
It is a clutch 225.
It's a
He does
clutch,
have good
like it
hits.
is.
He does have good hits.
No, they're like great hits. So I will shout out
And
Kevin.
me
but,
and Julian talk about that all the time. Like, I don't care about your average. You can hit 230. Just hit it when it matters, and we're fine.
yeah, no, I appreciate
Yeah,
the Kevin
that's it.
Kiermaier. Like he doesn't give me the triple when we're down 9-1. Like he gives it to us when it's a 1-run game and we need somebody to get on base. So we'll take
the
it.
opposite of Kirk Cousins. So shout out. And on that note,
You
we're
could
ending
say
our
that.
baseball episode because I can't do this to myself. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys if you're listening. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials @_the spectators and stay up to date with all of our baseball talk and all of our baseball analysis throughout the season. It is week 1 of however many weeks. There's 162 games. It's a marathon. We're going to be with you every step of that race. So make sure you're following us. You're up to date with all the spectators. Brooklyn, Nico, thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate all the talk. It's always fun talking baseball. And guess what? There's games on right now. So stop listening to this and go watch some baseball. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh,
Peace.
see ya.